Welcome to Commonwealth Sports Talk, Season 2, Episode 13, with your hosts, Joe Dillard Jr. and Lamonte Thomas. On today's show, we have special guest Bryan Randall, former Virginia Tech sports star and Bruton High School legend.
Welcome to Commonwealth Sports Talk. I'm your host, Joe D., with my co-host, LT, back at it, my man. And as we've had him missing, he's been working on some projects with Legacy Makers. So my man's been really busy lately. So glad to have your time, bro.
Oh, you know, it's all love, man. Glad to be here with you.
You know it, man. You know how we do. So this podcast is designed to spread knowledge, teach, and inform the listener and viewer about the positive advancement of Virginia athletes, born or raised, and definitely born and raised. Today's show, boy, we've got a good one for you as we bring you a Bruton legend, Virginia Tech legend, humanitarian, great man, 2004 ACC Player of the Year. I'm talking none other than Bryan Randall will be joining us. So this should be a good one that we're bringing to you today. Tell you what, though, this is brought to you by Grind and Pray, Legacy Makers Sports, Kane Beats by Mike Brown Jr. And so without further ado, we'll take you straight into the interview.
So, man, look, at Commonwealth Sports Talk, we salute ours. And so, I'm going to start you off early. Like, I don't know too many high school cats that went for 1,000 in the air and 1,000 on the ground. Explain to me what type of body nourishment or mindset you had to be that type of dog. Like, that's a great mindset to not only throw for 1,000, but pass for 1,000 and then go and run for 1,000 also. Like that, just take me through that, man.
Man, honestly, Joe, I got to tip my hat, man, to the coaches at Bruton, man.
Okay.
Seriously, because when you talk about like mental toughness, I mean, going both ways. I mean, you're practicing. I mean, we barely suiting up, 25 guys. So it's not like we got the privilege of, sitting on the sideline watching special teams go, watching the offense go. We resting up, to come on the field. So we already had the mindset, and I learned that early of, listen, you got to be a dog. Like, you're going to be tired. We don't got the numbers. You're going to have to play offense. You're going to play defense. You might have to kick, So it was already the mental preparation was already being built from day one. So it was kind of like that, kind of like the thing where, even through practices, like we're hitting, we're live in practice. And I used to be like, man, why are we live in practice? Like, we don't even got no numbers. Yeah. But everybody, you had to be a dog.
Yeah.
Like, so, I mean, my mental toughness, bro, honestly, through my life, I felt like I was tough. But going through high school football for me made me really, like, buckle down to a whole nother level of feeling like, hey, if you breathing, you can play.
Yeah, that dirty mentality.
Yes, bro, definitely.
That's a different beast, man. I kind of want to ask you about the multi-sports. While you were in high school, man, you're known for football for sure, but let's talk about some other stuff. Let's talk about how you decided you wanted to pitch in baseball, right?
Yeah.
Did that? And then you guys mess around and go to the Bay Rivers tournament for the first time in 8 years, right? You have that, and then you decided you wanted to run. Make sure you stay in shape, right?
Yeah.
400 meters, mess around and win a state championship, huh?
5-0.
Yeah.
Bro,
5-0.
Talk to me about that. Talk to me about what it took as far as a mindset that you had. What drove you? What was the constant in different sports to make you perform at such a high level?
Well, I think one of the biggest things was, I always wanted to do as many things as I could. And when I first got to high school, I had to give up baseball because I felt like, okay, I need to get faster. Track and baseball at the same time, I'm going to give one up. So now I'm thinking long term. I'm thinking NFL, thinking college. Okay, let me get faster. So I'm going to run track. I'm going to give up baseball. I don't really see my future in baseball. So that took the back burner. Well, going into my 10th grade year, I'm like, you know what? And, Coach Joyner, our basketball coach, was like, boo, you can come out. You can you can just pitch. You can come out there. I won't need you to come out there, every day. Since you'll only be pitching, you'll come out, throw some balls. Just come out and see, how you like it. I mean, granted, like, I love baseball. You know what I'm saying? If I could have did baseball 4 years, if I could go back, I would have did baseball probably 4 years, But I was like, oh, this is an opportunity. I got a chance to play now. I sat out my 9th grade year. So it's a whole different animal, going school baseball. So when he said that I could pitch, I'm like, okay, cool. It's just like riding a bike. I can go out there. I can wind up a few. I used to throw heat when I was young, coming up in middle school, elementary school. So I think I can get out there and do something. I'm an athlete. I can make it work. And, I got out there, and, of course, my arm felt like it was about to fall off pitching. You know what I'm saying? Throwing it. And I always had arm issues, being sore. And I'm like, man, this is – my arm getting sore throwing these balls. I know I'm not used to it. And then I get out there, and I'm like, man, I'm trying to play for real. You get that bug. Like, now I just don't want to pitch now. So now I'm out there. I'm like, oh, I want to play. I want to hit. You know what I'm saying? Let me hit, coach. I'm trying to, get in the batter's box. And that's when I found out, like, yo, it's really a difference. Like, this not like jumping up off T-ball, minor league, little league. It's 15 miles per hour faster, than your guy throwing in middle school. So I quickly was like, okay, I'm not just gonna be able to get up here and just hit like, thinking I was growing up. But pitching, I just threw. Coach, like, go out there to throw strikes. Granted, I got rocked a few times. Granted, the greats do. The greats get rocked, but right, it was. The experience, and like I said, my mindset was I can do it. If just give me a little bit of time, I feel I can do it. So the opportunity presented itself, man. I loved it. I loved it.
It's amazing.
Can't be mad at that, man. Back-to-back seasons with the 1,000 rushing, 1,000 passing, senior year state title run, amazing run. We talking 21.7 rebounds, 5 assists, 3.1 steals. When you say an alpha athlete, that is the definition of it. Playing 4 sports that we just mentioned. And, I'm going to ask a fifth sport question to you, B.
Mm-hmm.
136 yards out. What you pulling out of your bag?
136, pitching wedge.
See what I'm talking about? When you are just a competitor, it's in you, and that's the joy about it all, bro.
Yo, let me tell you. I'm gonna tell you. So my thing now is you talk about all these sports, and my thing growing up was because of this man.
Yes, sir.
Was be well rounded.
Yes.
Like, don't feel like you just gotta do one thing. Like I'm gonna let y'all experience a whole bunch of different sports. You take up to it like you want to take. I'm not gonna force y'all on basketball because he was a basketball player, but my dad played golf, my dad shot pool, my dad bowled. So It was kind of instilled in us as, when it's that season and it's time to play baseball, you gonna be a good baseball player. Go out there and practice. If I take y'all to the golf course, I expect y'all to want to be the best that you can be on the golf course. So you're going to have to go out there and practice. So it became a mindset of whatever I'm doing, I'm going to put time in. I don't feel like I'm just going to go out there and dominate. I God-given ability, yes. But my mindset was always, I can get better. I got to practice. I can get better. Let me work at this. Whatever it's doing. So that became a lifestyle mindset. And that was, and I feel like that's huge for me, bro. Like I'm really saddened when I see now, the one sport dominated mindset of kids today, bro. That really saddens me because I feel like it really shuts them in a box. There's so much more, out here than trying to create an NFL, NBA player at 5 years old, so yeah.
That's how it works. I had a guy talking to me the other day, and he said, when I was 6, I had already had 3 stitches. I had been outside. I had been on a jungle gym. I had been to a comedy show or something. And he's like, 6-year-old now, they probably ain't done nothing. And it's just a difference of they don't just let them go out and run these days, and then they don't necessarily want to go out and run these days. So that combination, you gotta find your niche these days just to be an athlete. So that's why we give salute to them.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man. So shout out to your father, the late great Edgar Randall. This man coached me as well. Gave me a name. Hey, Lamont, I had on goggles.
Yo, the rec specs, son?
I had the rec specs.
Oh, let's get it. The Horace Grant.
Sir.
The Horace Grants. And he, let me tell you how great of a man Edgar Randall is. I could shoot at that time when I was playing with under Coach Randall. And so, but I really wasn't that confident, I guess. I don't know. He goes, hey, go shoot every foul shot, every technical foul, every time, and I'm expecting you to make it. You can shoot free throws like it's nothing, and you shoot the 3-ball well. So I'm shooting at the foul line. He said, shoot another one. And I hit it. He shoot another one, and I hit it. He goes, daggone it, Radar. And he said, Radar, and everybody in the gym was like, yo. And it stuck. And so now Radar was the thing. And so I'm out here like, just give me the ball on the 3-point line, or if you put me on the line, it's gold. And so he instilled confidence in me that was beyond the court. You know what I'm saying? Because you think about that as a kid, you have breaking points. You have points where say, oh, man, I don't want to look embarrassed, or I don't want to feel this way, or I ain't the best, so I don't want to be included. Any of those reasons, you need that complimentary encouragement, that positive encouragement to make you run through the wall. And so that kind of goes along.
If you was open, you was going to hit that shot. See, and that's how that goes with our community, right? Like,
exactly.
If you're good at something, the people you know expect you to be good at that when called upon, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like, once you say you got that name, right? So you can knock it down. So whenever you get the ball and you open, now it's forget about what you're expecting you to do. Everybody and your teammates in the gym are expecting you, hey, we know Radar knocking that down.
Yeah. And that was every time I came out there to Williamsburg to practice, that was the feeling I had. Mind you, we traveling out there every night during school, getting it, doing what we had to do, man. So like, big shout out to him, man. So let me finish out and round out your high school year. Gatorade State Player of the Year for all classes. So they say, oh, Bruton's small. Bruton's 520 kids. Oh, he ain't got no competition. Oh, he not doing this, doing that. I know I've said it twice already, but nobody before he did it ran 4,000 and passed 4,000. So it's just something about this man's integrity and approach to the game that has to be honored. I had posted it earlier, and somebody had stated that we don't celebrate him enough. Well, I know I do, but I grew up with this man. The state of Virginia, my Commonwealth Sports Talk, this is why I have him on, to celebrate this man. This man has done great things. So, you know, finishing out high school, how did you know it was going to be Virginia Tech? Take me through that process.
Man, so Virginia Tech came on the scene, man, really with the Michael Vick era. So 99, when they went to the national championship, you know, that really woke me up, because before then, I wasn't thinking nothing about Virginia Tech. I mean, honestly, they just weren't on my radar. I'm thinking more out-of-state schools. Mm-hmm. You know, UVA offered me my first scholarship after my 10th grade year. UVA offered my first scholarship. And then they started to come in. They started to pour in more and more. So by my senior year, I mean, the whole mobile quarterback thing was very hot at that time.
Yes, it was.
And there was really no one doing it better than Mike. So I'm like, in-state, you know, I don't know too much about Virginia Tech, but I know they just went to the national championship, and I know that the following year, you know, they followed it up with like a 10-1 season, something like that. So I'm like, yo, man, like this could be the ticket if I want to play quarterback. Mm-hmm. So really, that was my thing. Like and that was my thing going through the process. I'm like, do I want to play quarterback or do I want to play defense?
Yeah, that's what I always wondered. How did you decide to be so celebrated? It's like you get to pick your poison.
Yes.
So how did you know offense versus defense? And what would you have played on defense?
Safety.
Yes, sir.
How to play safety. And my dad would tell me, he'd be like, "Boo." He's like, just really think about it. Like, you know what I'm saying? You might want to play defense. He's like, we're thinking about past college or going to the next level. After that, you know, safety may be, you know, your best bet. I love safety. Don't get me wrong. But I know that in me, Joe and Lamont, is the thing of always being a leader.
Yes.
And you can be a leader on defense, but the quarterback position is very unique. And I fell in love with it. I mean, I really did. I mean, I fell in love with the pressure. I fell in love with the, everybody looking to you. I fell in love with just the position itself of what it means to the team and what it means to a football team, both offense and defense. I mean, as a whole, the quarterback position is something that's why it's so unique, because offense, defense, like everybody is kind of, pulled in like a magnet to the quarterback.
Comes to the quarterback.
Yes, everybody's pulled into the quarterback. So with all that going on at Virginia Tech, man, it really came down to the fact that I felt like it would put me in a position to where I could be successful, and I felt like I'd be in a position where I could be playing sooner than later. Being close to home helped, knowing my parents could come to the games. Just the direction that they were moving in was just right. It was just right. So it really came down to them in Tennessee. So when I went to Tennessee on my visit, I was telling them I want to play quarterback. So I go on a visit. Now, Tennessee huge, the big stadium, all that. So the coach taking me around, first place he takes me is to the safeties room, to the DB room. So I'm like, I'm not here to play safety. Like, well, let me show you this. So he takes me to the defensive backs room. So I'm like, I know now for a fact that if I come here, they're gonna want me to play safety.
Yeah. So
that kind of deterred me away from Tennessee. Yeah, I kind of backed away from them then. But I said, if I want to play defense, I'm gonna go to Tennessee. But if I want to play quarterback, I'm gonna go to Tech. So that really came down to it, man. I knew I wanted to play quarterback in my heart. So BT was it, baby. Hokie all day.
You are.
You're a natural leader.
The leadership, man. The role, the thriving under pressure, all that, man. All that, goes into that. So, yeah, shout out to you. Not to mention you was a cheat code in NCAA. I'm not gonna talk about that, bro. Hey, real rap. I used to get so mad. I'm not gonna lie. Like my brother used to play. He would play with Tech, and he would, you rolled out of that pocket and you was out, bro. And I used to get with the fastest linebackers, and it did not matter. I was like, bro, there's no way he could be that fast. I got so mad. I threw the sticks down. I was like, bro, I'm ready to race right now. Like, I can't.
Tell you, sticks or no sticks. Like I said, I posted this guy will be on, and I had fellow Tab Tigers telling me their stories. Yeah, I remember watching film on this guy. They said, go ahead and try to arm tackle him. He'll break your arm off. Like they're reciting these stories. I thought I had a sack, but he juked me out my pants and da-da-da. And I'm just like,
it's real.
He was that guy. But I knew who he was because we went in the trenches together. So I knew who he was. But some of these people were rudely awakened when they got to be on the field with this guy. So
you an in-person cheat code and an NCAA cheat code, bro. It's real.
Man, look, hey, I heard so many stories, man, of people with the NCAA, bro. I'm telling you, I used to hear that all the time. Hey, bro, you want me so much, but these are people I don't even know.
Right.
Oh, bro, you be Randall, bro. You want me so much money, bro, in the game. Yo, I used to play with you in the game. I'm like,
I'm telling you, bro. No jokes. Like I remember it like yesterday. Like I'd be in the dorm room, like who anybody can get it. Like real talk.
No doubt, man.
So you got a unique scenario which a lot of teams don't get. We had Jermaine Morrow on earlier from Hampton, and he got to experience it as well. So when you go from a conference to another conference while in your tenure, that is a whole total shock on the approach. And so for your first three, if I'm not mistaken, you were in the Big East, and then last year it was the ACC.
Right.
So take me through how that transition, because not only did you come into the ACC, which is the conference that I've followed since day one, and when you came in, I knew you were going to dominate. Do you hear me? Because I followed it. So I was like, this is going to be interesting. So take me how you took on that new challenge, that exciting challenge coming into your senior year. How was that?
Man, it was great, man. And it was, it was great timing for us as a program. That being my senior year, Joe, and Lamonte, like something new. And I put it like this. So how I can take it back to Bruton. Basketball wise, you play the same teams in the conference. You're pressing. They know what we're going to do. They know we're running 32 full-court trap. You play a team, over the course of the season 3 or 4 times, they're going to get better at breaking that trap. They're going to get better at learning how to beat that press.
Absolutely.
I knew going into a different conference, we're seeing teams that we've never seen before.
Correct.
So, in the way that I looked at it was, they don't know what they're about to get into.
Mm-hmm.
This is something new. When you playing somebody that you're not used to seeing, or people are running schemes or defensive schemes that you haven't seen before, and I know it's vice versa, but my mentality was, oh, yeah, this is cool because they don't know what's going on. These other teams, like, they done caught on a little bit, and this and that, but we got a chance now to shock a lot of people because now we're playing people who haven't seen what we've done or haven't been on the field with us. Both ways, offense and defense. Yeah, so it's like, oh, this is going to be good. This is going to be good. Yeah.
I figured that, 2004 Offensive Player of the Year, 2004 ACC Player of the Year. Mm-hmm. Those things come with that experience. So take me through that bowl game versus that man, Aaron Rodgers. That was one of your best statistical games ever. 52-49, you lost to the Cal, but it was a flat-out shootout with Aaron Rodgers.
Correct.
Take me through that game, man.
Yeah, so that's 2003 San Francisco Diamond Walnut Bowl. And so going into the game, that's all we really heard was, like, Aaron Rodgers, quarterback, prototypical, mechanics on point. This guy is an NFL-ready quarterback already. Now, granted, honestly, I had never heard of him. I didn't know who he was. I didn't. But the way they were talking him up, I'm like, oh, this guy, he has to have some. I really like the situation where I can't wait to see him play. I can't wait to get on the field. Let me see what this guy is all about.
Exactly.
And man, it was a shootout, man. And I mean, respect to Aaron Rodgers, like he was legit. Like, how you hear about somebody, but then when you see him, after you see him and you can say they're legit, yeah, Aaron Rodgers, he was legit. We went toe-to-toe. And I think my numbers might have been a little bit better than his numbers,
Bro, you was giving him work. That's what I'm saying. Hey, look, let me just say, that was it, and I quoted that wrong. It was in 2003. You're right. Arizona Insight.com. If that is 15 years later in 2018, just 15 years later, just talk about this and how the game's evolved. Your rating would have boosted at least to a second round, first round late pick because of that game. That's how it works nowadays. And the 6'1" quarterback is everyday language. The dual threat is everyday language. You and Mike set cornerstones for areas that wasn't there. And that's what VA is most known for anyway as a whole. We are really good at trendsetters and accepting who we are and thriving and being the best version of who we are. So I commend you for not going over to play safety, although you are a ball hawking, Mike. Like, you was a ball hawking guy. But I commend you for sticking to playing quarterback because that's what it is. You set your path. And so that's why I love it, man. Absolutely. Absolutely, man. 7,481 all-purpose yards in high school, man. Like,
that's crazy.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy how we go so far. Now, LT, let me separate this real quick and get personal now because I done gave him all the stats and this is my boy.
Okay.
So, my senior year, his junior year, mind you, it's not just him. He got a great brother, Brandon Randall, who I grew up with too. Played ball with. So they ranked number 1 in the state. We ranked number 5, I think, in the state. No, y'all ranked number 2. And we ranked number 5. And they came to Tab and played us. And my mom was in a whole different place. Mind you, I lost my grandmother and we had buried her that day. But my mom was in a whole different place. I shot so bad that game. And if I'm not mistaken, B, I could be wrong. That was y'all's closest game of the year up to that point. And we played bad, but that's just to say, going back to how you said it, when you play teams, you know it's coming. You know what I'm saying? We knew what was coming. The question was, could we keep ourselves under 20 turnovers? You know what I'm saying? And that 3.1 steals ain't no joke either. They was out there getting it, and their engine is faster than most teams. So, hey, man, that experience, LT, was a buzzsaw. Like, I felt like we was a top 5 team in the state, but they were the team in the state.
Right. Hey, Joe, y'all were tough. Hey, Tab played us tough always. Between Tab, Lafayette, really in the conference, y'all and Lafayette really were the teams that we knew, you know, we really had to buckle down on. Shout out to Coach Baggett too at Tab. Great coach. Yeah, like we knew going into them games, and that's what I'm saying. Like, you keep playing teams over and over, you're going to get a better shot every time. And most of the time coming in, I mean, we already had a big target. Like, y'all were, like, it was cool because y'all was ranked in the state too. But usually, like, I know my freshman year, like, we was undefeated, I mean, in the district, and we lost one game, lost our last game in the district. Like, every year, I mean, we were basically pretty much running the table in the district. So it was getting, I mean, it was a lot of, you know, added pressure, you know, knock them off. It was
my junior year, I felt that buzzsaw. And going back to the great Edgar, he came to me and said, Radar, what happened to the shot? And I go to myself, I go, I done turned into a doggone point guard, man. I got to make everybody else better, and lost my shot in the mix. And he made me reflect on that. But that dog in Bruton, seeing that set me off for the next 12 months for that whole second senior year campaign. And that's the stuff that you thrive in when competition kicks like that. So,
competition was tough and heavy. Competition, bro. Competition was heavy.
That's how it works, man. And we had a lot of good runs. We had a lot of great runs.
We did.
So, man, tell me what's going on with you now, man. How's the transition outside of football? Where do you find yourself leading at? Talk to me, because you know it's got to be in us still. The journey continues. How many times can you invite Mike Vick to golf and play him, man? How many times can you do
it? Hey, listen. I'm a competitor.
I told you I don't want no
the rest of my life. I don't care what happens, what I'm doing, whatever I'm going to do, I'm going to be striving to be competitive. And, you know, it's crazy because I'm working at the shipyard now.
Okay.
And my first year at the shipyard, I've been there 2.5 years. My first year at the shipyard, I'm working within probably like 4 or 5 months within working there. I get a call from an arena team in Richmond. Tell me they need a quarterback. Yeah, Richmond Raiders. I think they're still get a Raiders then. Yeah. So I get a call and I'm like, man, like I'm not working out. Like, my mindset is moving. Like, I'm not in game shape. I'm not ready. And they want me to come play the same week.
Right. Oh, let's talk about that, because like Joe said at Commonwealth Sports Talk, we do our homework. So I believe that first practice was a Tuesday.
Oh.
The first game was a Saturday.
Oh.
Same week, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, so you messed around and threw 5 touchdowns.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, that happened.
Yeah. That did happen, man. That did happen, man. That tested me, man. That tested me, man. That physically. Physically.
I'm asking myself, how is he doing this, man?
Physically, it made me nervous. I'm not gonna lie. Physically, it made me nervous because I'm used to preparing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm used to getting my body right. Like, even if I'm not working out, you know, half the summer or whatever, I know 4 or 5 months before, I know what plan I'm on. I know what I'm doing. Like, I'm getting right. Yeah. So to not be doing nothing and then to tell me to get on the field, now I'm like, so how's my body gonna respond? Like, am I gonna be like my dad and pull a hamstring, you know, while I'm out there my first practice? So physically, I'm like, it made me nervous. Mentally, I wasn't scared at all because I've been doing the arena game, you know. So I knew the arena game really well. So I knew I could get out there mentally and be able to probably make up for the physical. So I wouldn't have to run as much, you know, so I wouldn't try to take off running. I wasn't trying to do none of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, before I would have took off running, you know, running for touchdown. Listen, I was like, I think I had an opportunity. Well, it might not have been that game, but I think the next game I got in, I had an opportunity to run. Bruh, I couldn't. Like, it just really made me, like, physically, I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to handle it. So
that shows you that mental toughness, though, because can you imagine being the other team saying, okay, he probably hasn't been out here in a while. We don't know what we're going to get. We don't know what we're going to see from him. And then you mess around and threw 5 touchdowns in the same week that you had your first practice.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And it was exciting. So, I had my family and stuff there. My daughter, you know, got a chance to come. Come here, Pony. Come here.
There you go. There you go.
Legacy is the name of the game.
That's how it is. That was my guy too.
There she is. What's
So-
going on?
Yeah. So, and I mean, and you know what? That was one of the coolest things to me because I always want to have a chance for my kids to see me play.
Absolutely.
And when I finished playing, they weren't born. You know what I'm saying? Like I was done, they weren't here. So I was like, man, like this is gonna be really cool. And that all went through my mind. Like my daughter can come see me, I can take pictures. So even if she don't remember, I can say, baby, look, this is you right here, Daddy. This is one of Daddy's last games.
Yeah, that's got to be a great feeling, bro. Like that's that joy that goes from generation to generation right there.
Hey, that's favor, Joe. That's favor. That's God's favor, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, sir, I wasn't expecting that. You know what I'm saying? How I mean, I would have never thought that. You know, it was already out my mind. Like I wasn't thinking about playing no more. And it gave me one more to be able to do that, man. Yeah.
So that's how it is, and that's why I asked that question, because you know it's not always easy to say, hey, all right, I'm gonna go this way now, because that call still can happen, and when that call comes, you to say no is just as hard, like you said, to realize in the moment that you ain't got it or it doesn't want to react like you're accustomed to. Mm-hmm. So, you know, that's why I had to ask myself. I was like, I wonder how that journey went, because we in our mind, we still got it.
Got it. Oh, all day.
You
all
know,
day long. If people ask me right now, could I step on the field? Mentally, yes, I could. But I know my body is not going to react, you know.
Body already telling you why you wrong for saying yes.
I'm good. Now somebody was asking me, no, sir, I'm okay. I'm okay. You know what I'm saying? I'm okay. Thank you.
Man.
Thank you.
Yes. Hey, and shout out to you and your community for allowing me to come in and coach and be a part of that tradition, because, you know the real true Hollywood story. My father wasn't too far from the Bruton zone, and I was like that close to going to Bruton. Right. So that's why I told those kids, I said, technically I'm family here. I said, but you might not realize it. I said, but the big dogs at the top, they know who I am. So when you see them, they recognize it. And so
yeah, we was excited to see you there. No doubt, Joe. We was excited to see you there, bro.
I loved it, man. I had to go back and get the degree in career in Parks and Rec, as I'm working with Prince William now in Northern Virginia, running the sports services division with 2 others. So it's a blessing. You know how we do, man. We want to stretch the opportunities out. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to figure out how to get my golf game right without asking you to take me out and take me to the woodshed. I don't want that yet.
Hey, you got to start somewhere. Hey, listen, as long as you got a club in your hand and you're playing, man, golf is one of those games you're going to enjoy it no matter what. Like, if you come out there, I'm going to dust you off. If you come out there, I'm going to dust you off. I'm going to give it to you, man. If you come out there, yes, I will. I'm going to dust you off. But I'm going to give you a story to tell when you go back. You know, like, man, he dusted me off. But you'll come back. I'm going to take you back out. We'll come back and play again forever. Listen, that's the type of game golf is, man.
Hey, B, you could drop my score 15 points, but that dust you off ain't going nowhere, bro. They could be like, yo, how was your time with B out there? Yo, he dropped my score 15 points. It's great. How did it go? He took me to the woodshed still. He let me know.
I'm going to put you on social media, though. I ain't going to do you like I do Mike. See, I'm going to put Mike out there because he might want to talk. He want to talk to me the whole time, tell me what he going to do. That's what social media for now. You know what I'm saying? So you can see the story. We ain't just going to talk about it because then it's he say, she say. We're going to actually put it up here right now as soon as we're done so people know it's real.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. So, look. I don't want to hold you too long, man. I could go all night because this is how we do. But, shout out to you, your family, the whole family. Everything you've done for Williamsburg, keeping it in Virginia with Virginia Tech, staying true to yourself, being a true man, you know what I'm saying? Some of us who are your own age look up to you. You don't, and that's not anything to be ashamed to say. You feel what I'm saying? Everybody deserves their role of leadership, as you said, in their own light. And so, I'm glad that you've had the opportunity to lead like you've done, bro.
Appreciate that, man. Look, that's being from Williamsburg, man. It's one of them things where, respect is something that you always got to go out and get. I learned that very quick as I started to sprout out a little bit and go play in other cities and things and neighborhoods and stuff. You talk about Williamsburg, it's kind of like, Williamsburg? Like, yo, who comes out of Williamsburg? So it always felt like I had that extra chip, like, man, like, y'all gonna know I'm from Williamsburg. First of all,
Learn today.
You gonna learn today. Like I'm gonna give y'all 20. Go back to Williamsburg. Invite y'all to Busch Gardens or water. Yes, where Busch Gardens and Water Country is. Yes, that's where the outlets are. That's Williamsburg.
Shout out to the whole peninsula, because the peninsula somehow likes to categorize stuff.
Yeah.
So let's just put the peninsula together and say that Boo Williams team his senior year took it to nationals, and this guy was a part of a national championship and a part of that transition. So it ain't just Hampton, it ain't just Tidewater, it's the whole 757, and it's where you get your gems from. And this definitely was a gem.
Yeah.
Put some
Absolutely,
respect
man.
on it.
Proud of Williamsburg, man. Proud to be from Williamsburg.
Absolutely. Hey, baby girl, shake your hair, baby girl. See in there, you snapping some hair.
Show them your hair.
She's been like, yeah. Absolutely. Well, yo, appreciate you, bro. I'm gonna take you up on that golf. I'm gonna let the winner pass me though. I ain't one of them guys out there in any type of weather. I'm gonna let the winner pass me. My knees don't work like they used to, B.
I feel you, brother. I feel you.
Yeah, we appreciate you coming on, man. You the type of guy is the reason why we made this show. Honestly, like definitely, man. You a Virginia legend, man. So we appreciate you coming on.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate y'all having me on, man. It's been excellent, man. Like honestly, I was excited about doing it, man. I enjoy just speaking, man. Speaking real. I think a lot of times, there's a lot of wondering what's going on, or wondering, how people are, what's going on in their life, why they're not playing no more, what are they doing now? So, I'm free, man. I'm real. I'm a real guy. I've done a lot in my life. God has shown me a lot of favor, man. But you know what? I regret nothing. I regret nothing about how my football career went. I'm truly happy now. I mean, the father, daddy to the beautiful girls, got a son on the way.
Love it.
And life is good.
Motivational speaker, FCA, man. Those are the things, the testimonies. That's where we at. We've been there.
You in my mind, Joe. You in my mind, baby. Yeah.
We're gonna have to talk some more, because I know what we've been through. So that's why I love it, man. And definitely, like LT said, he couldn't have said it any better. This is why we have this show, for people like this. You know what I'm saying? They don't toot their own horn, and we don't need to mourn people when they pass. We need to understand what they're doing and how they're walking, so we could just appreciate it in general. Don't criticize any of it. So
you to that, man. Appreciate y'all, fellas.
Appreciate you, man. Y'all have a wonderful evening, man. Thank you for joining Commonwealth Sports Talk. This is Joe D, LT, and we brought you Bryan Randall, straight out of the Berg, baby.
Already.
My guy.
Shout out, baby. Shout out, Williamsburg.
There it is.
We'll go right ahead and do the VA fact. I'm going to start with my VA fact. Comes straight from the interview, but I'm going to go a generation up. I'm going to take you back to 1978. The WBC scoring title was class of 1979 at West Virginia State. He was introduced into the Hall of Fame in 1998 by West Virginia State for their basketball program, and he holds the season and career total in free throws. I'm talking none other than the late, great Edgar Randall. So my VA fact has to deal with Bryan's father and Brandon's father, putting in that time as a scholar, as a ball player, as a father, as a mentor. And he did a lot for all of us in Williamsburg, York County area growing up. So I just wanted to give a shout out to that Hall of Famer. And also that seeing that he has those free throws as the leader, and he deemed me radar, as we say, then, that all goes together. Only a free throw leading champ would know who's really a radar from the line. So I'll take that with pride.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, man, that's my VA fact, man.
Love it. I do. Oh, man. My VA fact, I thought I'd stick to basketball, man. And it was crazy. What really had me looking into a VA fact was trying to wrap my head around that. What was it, like 40-something points in a half when you had
Tony.
When you had Tony on here.
Tony, yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, man, that's crazy. I was like, so I wonder what the single season record for points had to be. And of course, I didn't make it too far from, so, well, at first, AI had it. AI had it all the way up in the
career points or season or.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, it's actually single season points.
Oh yeah, I know about that one.
So, you do? So Iverson had it up until a while. You know who broke it?
I want to say Tyree Evans, but I could be wrong. And I think it was Cap. No, I'm not sure.
Actually, it was Matt McClung.
Oh, McClung broke it?
McClung broke it in 18, bro. He broke it. He did.
Record.
Yeah.
Right.
Not career, right.
Title.
Right. So, of course, AI did his it was crazy. Well, his single season record was the junior year when he went to the States in both football and basketball.
Yeah, he didn't get an encore senior year for that.
Right.
And it's just like Tony had said on his interview that, if Chuck had that final year with him, man, it would have been some numbers blown out the frame. So
no doubt.
Probably the best backcourt in Virginia State history, Tony Rutland and Allen Iverson. I'd put them up against anybody in the state.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, man, I didn't believe Mac broke that. He definitely made a big splash coming up from the mountainside.
He did. He broke it with a few games to go, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, he even reached that 1,000-point mark, for the season, which is also pretty crazy.
That's averaging 30 a game, darn near.
Yeah.
20, 25, 27, right around there, and putting in work every night, and people know who you are, and you're still doing it. So that's how you get scholarships to Georgetown. Both
right there, right.
1 and 2 both went to Georgetown, huh?
Yeah, and that's kind of where that meets up at.
Yeah, that's awesome, bro. And that's a great VA fact, man. Commonwealth Sports Talk always got that VA facts for you. Ooh, overtime. After somebody great like that, always there's a lot to talk about. And, we named a lot of stats on this guy, but I just really needed to ring out 2 consecutive seasons, man, of running for 1,000 and passing for 1,000. Some people have just one of those and feel accomplished, and he did it 2 times at each run, Junior and senior year, 1,000-yard rusher, 1,000-yard passer. Yeah,
that competitive nature is crazy, bro. And you can tell that was something that, he was raised with. It's something that was been in his household, since the beginning.
Absolutely, man. And that's a testament to the whole family. They definitely are a strong, well-knit group that, like they said, they wanted to be a part of everything. So they were competitive at everything, and they got many crafts, man. So, big shout out to Bryan for giving us his time, man. Like, I just look forward to seeing how he raises his young ones, because it just seems to be generational. That's how it works, You see it follow suit, and, big shout out to that guy, man.
Yes, sir. It's coming. It's coming for sure.
And so we are privileged here to round out our second season with one more episode left. That episode will be brought to you next week as we welcome Lisa Dillard to the Commonwealth Sports Talk table. So that should be a blast. Yes, it is family. Yes, she is a legend. Yes, she is a Hall of Famer. And as we talk about generational traits, her daughters went right in line with that too. So this will be a great one-on-one talk with her. I think, no matter of fact, that'll be all 3 of us. LT will be there with me for that one. So we shall have a blast as we bring you Lisa Dillard next week. So tune in, and this is Commonwealth Sports Talk bringing it to you. Any words of wisdom, my man?
Oh, man. Well, we usually do like a word of the week and everything. I think my word is just gonna be endure, man. We in some crazy times. Everybody's on survival mode, so it's all about endurance, man. Just endure whatever it is you're going through and get to the goal.
I'm gonna be a little different since daylight savings touching us. I'm gonna say hibernate. That's my word. Better gather all your nuts, fruits, and berries and get ready for the winter because it's hibernate time. And I hope that helps with everything going on with the pandemic. So appreciate everybody tuning in every week, and we will continue to give you that work. Tune in. Commonwealth Sports Talk brought to you by Legacy Maker Sports. This is Joe D with my man LT.
Take it easy, y'all.